Good morning, everyone. This is Audrey from EASTAFRI TV, and we have a consulting company as well. So today we're going to talk about a very interesting wealth management concept that I'm going to be explaining to everybody so that you understand what is that concept and provide some of the characteristics of that concept and some hidden risks as well, and also talk about the solutions, right? So today's video, what is the title? The title for this video today is a guide on learning more in terms of asset rich and cash poor. That is the wealth management concept and principle that we're going to be talking about today: asset rich and cash poor. How to navigate the paradox of hidden wealth and liquidity constraint, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Again, you're going to see the title on this video. So stay tuned, stay here, continue watching, because this is going to help you. This is going to help you. If it does not help you, it's going to help somebody that you know, and you can share, comment, and like this video and subscribe for more like this. So what is the concept of asset rich and cash poor? Asset rich and cash poor, the concept of that is people who have more assets in terms of property or private company options or equity that does not yield a dividend in real time. So it's investment for long term. And then they have like expensive properties here and there, or they might even have some luxurious stuff like art or watch collections and stuff like that. And then they don't have enough liquidity. So they have illiquid asset and then poor cash flow. So they don't have enough liquidity to make sure that they balance out in terms of the asset and cash. So those types of people, in wealth management principles, we call them asset rich but poor in terms of cash. So being asset rich, you are somebody who are rich on papers. You are somebody who are rich in terms of what you own, right? So you own properties, you own some company shares, investment companies that never pay dividends, for example, right? So and you are low on liquidity, right? So we're gonna talk about all of that and show you guys the risks, and then the solutions, and some of the characteristics of those types of people. For example, I'm pretty sure that you've met somebody in your life where the person, you try to explain about a very interesting project, a very interesting investment opportunity, and that person tells you that they do not have the money to invest or buy out in terms of your projects and invest in your project. The reason why is that, and you know specifically that that person is rich. The reason why is because that person is rich in asset but poor in terms of cash. So I'm gonna teach you some of the stuff that you can do to balance out the asset that you own, and then the cash flow that comes in as well. So my name is Audrey again. For those who don't know me, I represent EASTAFRI TV, and we have a consulting company in finance, technology, and real estate development as well. I'm here to assist you guys, help you understand basic concepts in finance, wealth management, and then provide you with the solutions. I'm not here just to talk and here and there and explain stuff that might not even be understandable by an average person, right? So I'm here to give you specific topic and then give you the answer and the solutions so that you can make a decision, real-time decision. So some of the characteristics of those people who are asset rich and poor in cash, you're gonna see that they have a high net worth, right? So they have properties, stocks, or private business equities that they own, right? all of that, it's on paper, but then they don't have liquidity. They have low liquidity. Their wealth is locked into their assets. The liquidity is not significant. They don't have, and they live daily life like a normal person, even though they are rich in reality, right? So what happens is that there's a cash flow gap between the assets and the cash that they should be maintaining, right? So and that is very risky because it could be very difficult recovering from immediate bills or unexpected costs, or anything that happens unexpectedly. So that can cause stress for those wealthy people. Right. So the good thing is, I'm not talking about poor, asset poor people or cash poor people like some of us, but I'm talking about on a specific niche, which is asset rich and then poor, cash poor people. Right. So the common scenarios that you can see for those people are the real estate concentration and private business equity, right? So they own high value properties. They have multiple rentals without consistent cash coming in from those properties, right? So the equity is trapped into their expensive properties, but they don't have cash flow. They don't have income. Like they have properties, yes, it's over there. They have expensive stuff, right? They concentrate their investment into real estate, but then there's no cash that is coming in to balance out those properties and the cash that they should be having, right? So because in reality, if you own a $1 million property, the minimum cash you should have is at least $100,000 cash. That is how you can balance out the properties and and the cash flow, right? So you have $1 million home, you should be having $100,000 in your bank account, right? So we know that that's not the reality, right? I know, right? That's not the reality. But then, what is the solutions? What can we do to make sure that we balance out on that? So I'm bringing you the solutions to tell you exactly what to do, right? So and then some other common scenarios that you can see. You can see private business equity. People who invest into company stocks, company shares, and they take like a very basic salary, but then they have stocks in Amazon, Apple's, whatever. And those stocks are not yielding dividend. They are not getting any dividend paid out to balance out with the cash flow. So that person might be asset rich and then poor in terms of having cash flow, right? So those are the common scenario that you're gonna see: concentration in real estate and then private business equities with no dividends, and in real estate, no income, no rental income and stuff like that, right? So that's what we're talking today. It's a wealth management principles that I'm trying to explain in very simple terms so that you can understand exactly what I'm talking about and then make a decisions. Be wise, financial wise, in terms of making the right decisions for your future, for your family's future as well, right? So now, what is the root cause and the trigger for those people who are asset rich and cash poor? There is growth over allocation, right? So they tend to reinvest every penny that they get in long-term investments, right? So every penny, every cash that they have, they tend to invest it in long-term investments, right? So and then they are reluctant to sell. If they have properties, those properties are even appreciating. They have money. They have profit on their properties. They have a psychological barrier that is preventing them from selling their properties to make more money and then balance out the cash, right? So, and you could see people who tend to focus on long-term investment, buying company stocks and options that are going to yield, that are going to profit them in 30 years, 10 years, stuff like that. And that is not wise. You should be diversifying your investment. You know, look for short-term investment as well. Look for something that's gonna balance out your asset instead of being rich on papers. Be balance it out, right? Have some asset and some cash flow as well, and have a balance. Live a worry-free financial life, right? So those are some of the root causes, and you can see some people, for example, who are retiring as well because they used to have a steady income. Now they are retiring. Now their income is reducing, but they have assets, they have cars, they have properties, they have investment, but they don't see the cash, right? They don't have the cash, right? So those are some of the common problems that happened when somebody is asset rich and poor in terms of cash, right? So we're bringing you the solutions, we're bringing you the information that you need to know in order for you to prevent from that happening. Or if it's happening to you right now, strategically think about how you can leverage the information that I'm giving you to make the right decisions, right? People uh, who are asset rich and cash poor, they tends to have like illiquid asset, like properties and investments in long run. That is like between 85% and 90%, and then they have like low cash flow, which is like 10% or 15%, which is not recommendable, right? So you should be balancing out your asset and the cash. For example, if you have $1 million investment in long term, let's say private business equity, in $1 million of value, at least have $100,000 in your cash, right? In your bank account. That's how you can balance having asset and cash, right? So, and if you don't do that, if you don't have that, do not concentrate all your investments in long-term investments, right? So look for options that can yield some money in very short term, like couple years, 3 years, and then you get enough cash, and then now keep balancing it out, right? So what are the hidden risks? The paper wealth trap, right? So it's you are wealthy but on paper, right? So, and that becomes a very significant source of your anxiety, financial stress, chronic financial stress as well, because you have a lot of assets, but you don't have cash flow even to maintain everything that you have, right? So, and that can be financially stressful. We're here to advise you how you can live a free stress life, and make sure that you're leveraging some of the stuff that you have access to be wealthy, really, in terms of asset and cash as well, because it's all very important. You can't just be wealthy on paper and then don't have cash, because it's gonna create some stress for you and stuff like that. So we trying to prevent that from happening. And EASTAFRI TV is here to give you all the information that you need to make the right decisions and take advantage of what we're telling you, and be financial stress-free and successful. So some of the solutions that I'm bringing you today for people who owns many properties or assets and stuff like that. So leverage some equity, right? So leveraging equity can help you unlock massive cash that you can even reinvest in short-term investments, and then balance out the asset in your cash, right? So for homeowners, for example, you know that you can have home equity loans and stuff like that, and then reinvest in short-term investment and generate more cash flow for you, right? So that's one of the solution that you can use. And then another solution is strategic liquidity moves, right? So that is one of the other solutions that you can take advantage of as well. What is that? Just if I try to explain that to you guys, what is a strategic liquidity move, right? For an average person who does not understand wealth management principles or concepts, I'm trying to to put all those information into very basic terms. Sometimes it's very hard for me even to find the right term, basic term that I can explain to you so that you understand. So strategic liquidity move is when you have, let's say, I give you an example for somebody who have like a massive, very big properties, and then they are looking to downsize, right? When you downsize your property, right, you sell bigger ones that you have and then buy small that you need, right? You unlock massive cash for you, right? So you don't have to do it for every property that you have, but you can take one, for example, downsize it, right? If you have like a 5, 6, 7 bedrooms house, or have a 2-story house somewhere, whatever scenario, wherever case scenario that may be, you can downsize that, right? Have massive cash and invest in short-term investment and generate more cash for you. Make sure your assets are balancing out with your cash, right? Assets should be here, yes, I understand, but cash should be somewhere around here as well. You don't want to have a scenario where asset and then cash over here, right? So that's not the right move, and EASTAFRI is here to advise you exactly what you need to do. And another thing that you can do is asset rotation, right? So moving from growth only stocks to dividend paying portfolios, right? So many people, we tend to look into investing in the long term, right? So you buy stocks, you buy options that are going to generate more profit in 30, 10 years, right? Who knows? Where are you going to be in 10 years? Where are you going to be in 30 years? Are you going to still alive? What's going to happen? Stuff like that, right? So make strategic investment and rotate, diversify your investment in short-term investments as well that can generate more cash for you, right? In short term, short period, or invest in business, private business equities that can yield dividend, that can pay you dividends, right? So those are some of the strategic solutions that you can use and unlock massive cash to balance it out with your assets, right? So something else that I want to advise you, most of the wealthy people, they hold on to some of the luxurious stuff, expensive stuff like expensive watches, expensive boats, expensive cars, collections, and stuff like that. Art, in terms of millions of dollars in art and stuff like that. So do not hesitate. If you see that something has appreciated in value, do not have that psychological mindset of saying, oh, I'm going to hold into this and then I will sell it maybe in 10 years and stuff like that and stay poor in terms of liquidity. No, that is not a mindset that a businessman should be having. The right mindset is to make sure that if something has appreciated and you need cash, you're wealthy, you have asset, and you want to balance it out with your asset as well, you need to think about selling of some of those luxurious stuff that you have and unlock massive cash. So I'm trying to give you the solutions. I'm trying to give you some of the tips that you can use to be successful and balance out the asset rich and cash poor. That is a principle for wealth management. And I'm here to advise you guys and give you more information, coach you so that you financial successful. I'm 100% confident that if you understand English, what I'm talking about, if you understand, if you know, or if you have like a little bit of concept of what I'm talking about here, and if you don't understand, that's okay. Shoot me a question, call me, I will answer you and then explain this to you in real terms and stuff that you can understand. I speak French, I speak Kirundi, I speak whatever language that you might be looking to speak to me, but the common ones are French and English. I will be here to assist you and help you, right? So there is a wealth management principle that says the net worth is what you own on paper, and then the cash flow is how you actually live your life, right? So what you own on paper in terms of asset, and then what is cash flow? How you live your life, your actual life. That is a wealth management principle, and I want to share it with you so that if you somebody who's wealthy and have assets, evaluate your cash flow. Do you are you rich in asset or and poor on cash flow, or there is a balance? You're living a comfortable life, you are stress-free, financially speaking, and there's no anxiety, chronic financial stress and anxiety. Is that the case for you? Then kudos to you. Congratulations, you've made it in life, right? So the good thing is, as I mentioned in the very beginning of this video, is that I'm not talking about poor people in assets and cash at the same time, like most of us, but I'm focusing today in rich asset and cash flow poor as well. So secure your future. Don't let your wealth be locked into some kind of vault, right? Balance your asset for a better life. And EASTAFRI is here to help you do that and be successful in whatever you're doing. And I thank you, everyone. Thank you for following me. Thank you for listening to me. Please comment, share, subscribe. We'll be more than happy to continue bringing you more for your financial stress